Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday, January 3rd, 2:17 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Finally, this is the first real day of 2022. It's Monday, and if you're a trader, the week does not start on Sunday. It starts on Monday. Even if you're a Forex trader and the market's on 24/7, you may have noticed today we just took a bit of a dump. This is a 30-minute chart right here. You can see this beautiful sell pressure, and boom, and drop the market down. So note that somebody's playing around here. It's the first day of the year. So let's see what tricks are going on. We saw this big sell pressure here, this big sell pressure here, and of course the chart did correspond to that. No doubt about that. So 30-minute chart, we can definitely see a dump. Now here's the thing. In general, if you look here, this is a 30-minute chart. Let's look at a 45-minute chart for a little bit more, to see a little bit more. So in general, the RSI cave, and it is over here at bitcoindailyview.com. If you go there, just search for RSI, and you'll see, oh, not that one, maybe the next one. It's there somewhere. Oh, RSU, sorry, my fault. RSI, boom. Yeah, RSI cave, the indicator's right there. You can fire it up. It's free. Mine's a little bit tuned here and there, but don't worry, you can make yours look just like it if you so desire. All right, back to the chart here. Yes, we're definitely in the buy zone. Okay, so here's the thing. 45-minute chart. Boom. We can see it. Looks good. I just wanted to note something. The RSI cave, if you get that indicator and fire it up, you know how exactly it works. Well, you can look at the pine code if you want. It's pretty much taking your... I won't even get into it. The RSI cave, just trust. It's based on the RSI, okay? It would take too long to actually think about it, how it works. But as you can see, the RSI cave is a great place to see tops and bottoms. It's kind of like Bollinger Bands, and there's a Bollinger Band. I'll fire up. I'll do that in future videos, like tomorrow. I'll save a chart with that, a template, because there's actually a Bollinger Band indicator you can get on TradingView that has the a Fibonacci sequence in it. And so it's pretty phenomenal. So it really helps you see where you're going as far as tops and bottoms. Now, if you note, the RSI cave, the price action here, like on the 45-minute chart, it's a great place to look at it. You're pretty much usually not going to go above or below it. And so right now, if we zoom in, we definitely have hit the bottom. And as you can see, we're bouncing up. I would just be wary today. This is a lot of frigging sell pressure that we've had recently. So damn it, sorry. There we go. Let's see. We have had a downward trend. You can see it. Boom, here on the 45-minute chart. It kind of looked like we broke out of it. And you could almost see recently I thought we had kind of an upwards channel forming, as you can see. Then we went sideways out of it. We challenged the 200 moving average a time or two here and just could not hold it. And as you can see right there, the 200 moving average was a serious rejection. That did not go so well at all. And anyway, we're still above this downwards trend, but we're at the bottom of the RSI cave. Big sell pressures coming in. And you can kind of see, like here on the 45-minute chart especially, you can really see where the, you can call them the whales, they come in with these friggin' mega candles here. Mega sell pressure, also a mega buy pressure here too, definitely. But someone's going and doing market sells. I think you can see it on on-chain analysis. I mean, if you really look for it, it's something I should probably show here sometimes, but you can definitely really see that this is manipulation territory. They want to push that down, and there's people who are shorting. Like I say, it's a conference call, and well, you're probably not on it. Although if you are, the number, I'll, slip it to me. I'd love to be on that call that, knew when some of these red candles are coming in. That would be your big, 10x or 100x short there over on Bybit, boom. Well, anyway, with that said, just be careful right now. If you are buying this dip, definitely, as Masaki said over at Akeda.com, he said he's, scaling in, and that's very true, because we can't be sure. But if we do look, it's a 45-minute chart. Let me actually pull this in on 45 minutes. I'm sorry, 4-hour chart. Let me pull this 45-minute chart into a 4-hour chart, okay? Let's look a little bit more data here. And if we look, you can kind of see here on the 4-hour chart. I'm cursed with that thing. All right. We definitely do have a good deal of previous support and resistance in the chart. So let's fire this up like this. You can kind of see where we're at. There's definitely a lot of previous support resistance in the chart. We have played around here before, and if we look at the 45-minute chart, do be careful. This is something I just wanted to mention. Okay, check this out. 4-hour chart. Let's look at the RSI cave there. Okay, what if we visited the bottom of the RSI cave before we bounced? That would be around 44,800. So I'm just saying, if you are scaling in, and not financial advice, and entertainment purposes only, I'm a crazy dude in a messy garage. But I noticing this, the bottom of the RSI cave here on the 4-hour chart, it's sitting right there at around, like I say, 44,777. So if you were to put, like, if you wanted to scale in and you were thinking maybe we're going to find support and move up from here, at least some, and continue sideways or whatever, limit orders at like 44,900 and like 44,850, or even just 45. See, 45. Yeah, right around 44,900, 44,850. You could try to catch that. So if you want to put some limit orders in, if you think maybe we'll make it to the bottom, this RSI cave from the 45 on the 4-hour chart could happen. I mean, as you can see, definitely there's plenty of times that we have done that. Now, I mean, this is truly, as you might say, somewhat high octane speculation. But look, on the way down, there's plenty of times, especially here, look at that, boom, where we did touch the bottom. We touched the RSI cave almost. Here we almost touched it. But anyway, so like I say, Bitcoin, how are the other indicators looking right now on the 4-hour chart? Oh no, on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so one thing is, watch the wave translated by Lazy Bear. The tangent is not turned up yet. Stochastic Rsi is still just diving, but it is back into the buy zone. Watch for that tangent to turn up on the 4-hour chart. KRI is dead, is down. Squeeze indicator is showing negative momentum. This is what you don't want to see here, is the ADX trending up with a strong tangent like that, the white line, as your price is dumping. If your ADX, the white line here, is going up and the price action is going down, they're like pointing at each other as if they're going to come to an intersection, that shit ain't good. So basically, also our directional index is in the red still, but as we do note, we are starting to see a bit of a chill out. Boom, it's starting to trend towards the positive in a roundabout way. So this is a lot of sideways action, definitely. But what I could do, let's do this. Here's some fun. Let's try this. I like this view right here. Now, I know many would say a fib from here is where you want to do it. But let's do 2 fibs. Okay, this is just a 4-hour chart. We're pulling in a lot of time here on this one. So let's do a fib retrace way back here, starting like 20th of July, where we began a run up. Now, I know that it's easy to say that that this area here, would invalidate it, and you should do a fib from there. Well, we will, but let's see how this looks. Here on the 4-hour chart, the RSI cave is down here right there at the 618. Which is a very, very respectable spot to bounce. Let's see what happens. But as we can see, this doesn't really quite jive too perfectly. Let's try to move it here. Let's try to do it like this. Let's do an RSI from right about here and see how that works, because that would be a little bit more proper. So let's roll this out like this. And as you can see, this is starting way back here where we started a run up kind of on the 21st of September. This definitely does work. And you can see we are hanging out right here big time on the 786 fib level. And really, in my humble opinion, you're going to bounce on your 786 or you're giving it all back, and we'll see what happens. But this is a nice arc. We definitely started a run up on 21st of September. We peaked around 10th of November. We've been just free falling ever since. Over the weekend recently, last year, it was somewhat inspiring when we saw this. I was kind of getting a little bit, jazzed to see this, where we had this, it appeared to be an upwards channel, possibly challenging that 200 moving average. And it even got over, but it did not hold it. Ultimately, looking at this subsequence, it bounced off the 618, which would make sense. It did float around in the 618 golden pocket for a little while, but it could not hold it. Now it's back to the 786. So with that said, let's look at a daily chart. It's a 2-hour chart, kind of interesting. Oh, two-hour chart's very good with the MACD. Look what direction your MACD is trending on a 2-hour chart. It will usually tell you what the higher time frames are going to be. I have found, especially like the daily time frame. So with that said, if we look here at the 2-hour chart, the 2-hour MACD is still free falling. So be careful. Wait for that tangent to at least turn positive before you get too jazzed about scaling in. Oh, and actually, Masaki over at Kada.com. I'll link to I'll put his site in the show notes. He mentions Mercury retrograde on the 14th should be the bottom of this month. That's really interesting. I dig it. Well, hey, everybody, take that for what it's worth. It sounds reasonable to me. Let's look at the 4-hour. Let's look at the boom daily chart. This is the thing that's kind of got me here. Where I do see some hope is, well, actually, I don't see some hope. Watch out for this. This is the daily MACD. And look how insanely close we are to a daily MACD negative cross right there. I mean, we've been flirting with it for a while. You just don't want a daily MACD cross. I can say that for sure. I know a good number of people who do trade in and out, automated. Their automated trade in and out of Bitcoin. It's a percent of their Bitcoin on the daily MACD swings. And it's something that a good deal of people do. And I think a lot of, institutions, etc., people with big money, like your retail traders who are trading with, $5,000, whatever. Be careful here because the daily MACD, it is watched. I'm just telling you, I know it's an old indicator, but people watch this thing. And if you go back and look on the daily chart and look at its positive and negative swings, not every time. And then sometimes it kind of screws around like this, and it's just annoying. It keeps crossing like that. It's hard to tell what it's going to do, but in general, watch these nice, strong daily trends and changes in the MACD, and you will see on the daily, and you will see the chart usually tends to reflect it. So people are watching this, and watch out, because I do think right now, we're under the heartbeat of the MACD, which is not the best place to be. You want to be really above that mid range there, a bit above that heart rate. The histogram has been closing the wrong way for a while now, as you can see. Here's histogram. You can see it's been closing the wrong way. Anyway, let's see what happens. I would actually put an alert in right now, just so you guys can see if you so desire. I'm going to kill that. I'm going to do this. Just in case you guys haven't done it on TradingView, you can say MACD. I'm going to say MACD crossing, MACD signal. And I can just put a little thing in there, negative MACD cross, and I'll say daily. That's one thing about, as far as this being a good hedging time. For me, I've been thinking, I did put some buys in around like a 44.9, 44.8, because I think that there's a good chance that we will see the bottom of this RSI cave here. I think we could, and that's right around there, around 44,000, right around 44,008, 44,009. And that would be a pretty extreme dump. That would be, a more of a dump than we have, done recently. Definitely, like you can see where we kind of have gone toward this previous support where we have bounced, and that's a good thing. It's always a good thing to watch. But play it safe, guys. This is a 4-hour chart. Let's see what happens. If we look at this on the 45-minute, time frame, as you can see, we're already at the bottom of the RSI cave. But also look at these big cells that the whales are putting in. So they could, it doesn't usually go below the or above the RSI cave for very long. It's kind of a magnetic attraction that sort of snaps it back. It's kind of like gravity. So let's see what happens. Okay, just be wary. there's a good chance that with the bounce right now, we're seeing on this 30-minute chart, we're seeing some candles here after this bounce. So maybe we're going to continue up with the 45-minute chart. Yeah, 45-minute chart shows that. I wouldn't have too much confidence until we get back above the 200 moving average or the white moving average on the 45-minute chart. We're really not strong until that happens. So watch out for another big red sell candle to come in. Because if it does, it definitely could get us down to that 44,000. So anyway, I picked up a small hedge just today, like before I started this video, because I definitely wanted to catch the possibility of this being a nice bounce. You know, when you're scaling, you're not trying to get the absolute perfect top or bottom. You're just scaling, you know. Well, we do have a good case to be made from previous support and resistance here that this is a spot we definitely, have interest in and could bounce, no doubt, definitely could. You can see where it's played a role in the past. So with that said, very well could bounce now, but watch out because the 4-hour chart definitely is a player too with the bottom of that RSI cave. So watch that. I mean, like I say, a buy at 49, at 44,900, 44,850, 44,800. Those are great limited order buys. We might see a drop like that. And with these big sell pressures coming in like that, that might be the plan. So be watchful. Once again, looking at I got my alert in, so I'm watching because definitely, if you see that negative MACD cross, you're probably going to hit those limit orders. If you see that negative cross, but they might just be limits that fill as it rockets right past that. So beware today. It's a little bit crazy. All right. Once again, here's the daily chart. We definitely, if we look, you can see on the daily chart, we are playing here with, previous bounce point. So we definitely could see that continue. Have no doubt. We could see it. We'll see how that rolls. But still, on the daily chart, be very, very wary because we are below the 200 moving average on the daily. I don't dig that at all. This is the 50 moving average, the green one right here. You want to be above that. You really do want to be above that. Then the 200 moving average, you really, really want to be above that. You want to be above both. And we are below the 200 moving average. And as you can see, we're just sort of like, we're just kind of ranging, and I'd be wary because this is also sort of a whaley thing to do. And you can see it here is the whales will do this because they have no problem doing it. They are basically letting it range right here, and they are buying these tops and shorten, and they are buying these bottoms, and they are longing, and that's kind of what they do. So just be wary of that. And also, like I say, a daily below. See, in general, a daily below the 200 moving average. I mean, really, if I was probably smarter and following my own rules, I'd probably hedge out of Bitcoin even more until we see a move above. The chart's just not looking too groovy to me. I see no real reason. Oh, look at that 45-minute chart, Bitcoin versus USDT. Look at that. Did we just get a little bit of a green candle there in the 45? We're seeing some buy pressure come in. One thing I would mention is here on the 45-minute chart, it's a magical time frame. One thing you definitely can do is if you have these indicators, this is a very immediate immediate time frame, immediate price action, I should say. Watch for the 45-minute chart, watch the directional index to start really trending towards a positive cross. This is called the I'll make sure this is over at Bitcoin Daily View. Just look for directional index. This is ADX. Let me look for that. Real quick search ADX. So I have that indicator. Yeah, ADX and DI histogram. These you really, really want. Definitely fire those up. And when you install those, when you use that indicator, set it to 20 as a threshold. It will really rock for you. So with that said, watch for the directional index to start moving towards another green move. Watch while you're running some green candles, especially if you can get above the 200 moving average. Watch for the ADX here, as they call it. It's around 12 right now, the white line. Watch for that start hitting about 20. So if we can get a strong, if we can see movement like the directional index is beginning to turn, it's beginning to, if it's kind of doing a thing like this, even though we may not be green yet, especially if we can get this, especially if we can get this, this ADX moving and starting to get around just about 20, start to break 20 and things look good and the chart's looking good, that might be a definite time to do some, stronger hedging in. Because right now, just a weak chart, the squeeze index, this is over at bitcoindaily.com too. You can try this one, squeeze indicator. Absolutely great. It's showing downwards momentum in the chart right now. KRI is beginning to perk up, but it ain't green yet. Stochastic Rsi, it's definitely in the buy zone, but tangent has not quite turned positive yet. The hourly chart is a great place to look at the Stochastic Rsi. And as you can see here, the tangent has turned positive. So maybe we're seeing a bit of a reversal on the very, very short time frames here. Interesting. Wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear has not turned a positive tangent yet on 45-minute chart. How does it look on an hour? It doesn't like it on an hour too. Let's look at the wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear on the 4-hour chart. It is by far a grumpy indicator, but damn if it's not profoundly accurate. It's still showing downwards momentum on the 4-hour chart. If you want to be a very, very conservative trader, wait for this tangent to turn up. The green line is the wave channel oscillator. Red line is a signal. Wait for that tangent to turn positive, or especially wait for the wave channel oscillator line to actually cross the red signal line. This is kind of like a new agey MACD. It's very, very powerful. I definitely love the wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear, even though it's just too damn harsh and accurate for me at times. Damn it. It doesn't tell me what I want to see. So anyway, looking at a 4-hour chart, maybe we're bottoming out right now. But like I say, there ain't no top and there ain't no bottom. And I don't really see any reason why Bitcoin has to do anything at this moment that I want it to do or I don't want it to do. I'm not really too confident to do any big moves right now. At most, I'll hedge in. That's only because I really have confidence overall that even if the hedge goes wrong and I don't make the money immediately, like I go in the red, I'll make it later, and that's fine. So that's one nice thing about Bitcoin right now. Although there are some great alts to get into, we'll look at that in one sec because we I think there are alts that are doing just friggin' phenomenal. Let's take a look at those. I wanted to do something, the visible range indicator. Check that out. They call this the POV or something like that. I forget what it is, but basically this red line here is where the greatest volume is. So the visible range indicator is showing what we see visibly here on the chart. It is showing a volume. And basically there's a tremendous amount of volume right where we are at. And that would really make sense, especially if you've got, like I say, I call it kind of a whale range is like right here, boom. They're just letting this swing while they buy the top while they buy the top and short and long and the bottom they long. So you can see a nice strong amount of volume here. One thing I can say is that the chart seems to be magnetically attracted to wherever the greatest volume is. And so right now we have this huge spike, a lot of volume right here. So that tends to lend towards the chart staying where it's at right now. Or at least not dumping further. This is a great indicator because you can tune it. I like to tune it like this. Check this out, everybody, okay? I'm going to say row size, area volume. Let's do a row size of like 1024. Let's make it slightly more granular. There we go. And even making it slightly more granular, now you can see if we look a little bit closer, you can see definitely the greatest volume is right at, it should tell me the greatest volume on the chart right now that we're seeing in this visible range is 47,854. So, we are more likely to pull back up towards that than continue down. How about that? Can you dig that? Anyway, let's look at what we usually look at. Sorry if this has been a long one. I'm just kind of catching up, looking at things. For some reason, my Bitcoin trading volume has gone potty. That's a really important site, and it's not working. Anyway, we'll look at everything else we got here. We'll refresh. We'll check it out. Let's see what we got going on here. So Bitcoin trade volume seems to be dead. Let me know if that works for you guys. Here, I'm going to try to do this, see if it'll work. You guys try it. I just put it there in the chat. See if it's working for you guys. It might just be that it doesn't like me. So looking at the Bitcoin universe in squares, as we can see, who are the big players today? Is anything really interesting happening? Any big moves? I mean, I should have kind of looked a little bit more research before I hopped on, but I just wanted to hop on and look at things. I know recently some alts have done some nice 50% moves and such like that. And we'll start watching them closer. If I can get on here every day, especially early in the morning, we'll start really tracking some stuff and getting in on some good moves. But right now, I'm not seeing any alts that are in the deep green. Most are just slightly profitable, oftentimes below 1%, but they are green in profit. Looking at the last hour, they've gone up more than they have gone down, so I can dig that. So in general, we have a very, very, very light green market at the moment, but it is following a lot of dumps earlier the last few hours. This is just the last hour. Bitcoin trade volume, it hates me. Anybody, I put it in the chat. If you happen to, if you can get the Bitcoin trade volume, if it works for you, please do let me know what it is. Looking at spot trading on Binance, where that sweet volume is, even though we can't really see it. 14 billion last 24 hours. That's crap. You want to have at least 30 billion, really about 50 billion in volume over the last 24 hours. 14 billion is extraordinarily low. Even 30 billion is really, really low. So people basically just have not been playing as far as spot pairs on Binance, but it is up 26%, basically 27%. It's up last 24 hours. You don't quite see the 7-day tangent flipping up yet, though. So definitely, we have not had the best volume over the weekend, over the holidays. That happens. So right now, when you have volume this low, Bitcoin's more likely to dump than it is to pump. All right. We want to see at least 75 billion for a good day on derivatives on Binance, and we're seeing 44 billion, 44, and it's up 28% last 24 hours. So we're starting to see an uptick in volume, in trading volume, but still our overall numbers over the last 24 hours are tremendously low, even though they're kicking up. So something to watch for sure. Bitcoin trade volume still a failure. Nothing new here on Coin360. Let's look at blockchain whispers to see longs versus shorts on Binance. Longs 81%, shorts 18%. Well, the longers and shorters on Binance I find to be a pretty smart crowd, and that is a crap ton of long confidence. So take that for what it's worth. They're probably looking at kind of like, like this. They're probably figuring, hey, we're bound. This is where we most likely are going to bounce. We can see previous support and resistance in the chart. This is a 4-hour chart. We're pulling in a lot of time here. I would just so I got in a little bit of a hedge. Like I say, watch the bottom of this RSI cave. We could see that 44,900, 44,800 spot. I definitely have some limit orders in there to catch that dip just in case it happens. So definitely a lot of long confidence for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, 78% long, 21% short. That's pretty damn groovy. I like it. So anyway, definitely the longers and shorters on Binance are feeling pretty darn positive today. Let's look at, we have our chart up here. Let's clear that and look at some fun stuff. It's the daily chart. Let's look at the DXY, Dollar Strength Index this Monday. Oh, look at that. Dollar Strength Index, quite interesting. This is a daily chart. Look at this. It's Monday. It is rocking hard. And the Dollar Strength Index pumping like that definitely would denote it would lend towards this bearish behavior of Bitcoin. So it's pumping. And its MACD has been negative for a while, but it has actually just started to trend towards positive. That tangent, people are watching that. A lot of people are watching that. So anyway, it just bounced off the 50 moving average. That's pretty damn wonderful. An expected location, as you can see, when it's above the 50, it's doing well. So that's pretty darn strong. And some people have noticed this. And I would say, my friends, take this for what it is worth. I'm not sure if I endorse this or I do not. I know it's a little bit sloppy, but that's fine. I can dig that. It happens. Some are saying that they are seeing here on the Dollar Strength Index, a bull flag pattern arising. Okay, for what it's worth, there you go. But still, if people are seeing a bull flag pattern on the DXY and expecting some good, pump out of that, and look at this Monday morning after the holiday run that we're getting, that beautiful green candle, that volume bound, a perfect bounce off the 50 moving average like that, that would definitely explain Bitcoin doing this shit. Okay. So there you go. Let's look. It's so great that the markets are open again. SPX, how's the S&P 500 doing? It's green, but it's not extraordinary. It's doing good enough. How about the Russell 2000? Russell 2000, glorious. That's 1-day index. Nice, powerful green candle today. It actually wicked up to the 50 moving average. It's actually above its 200 moving average after a 314 bounce here on the daily a little while ago. Definitely, that's darn bullish. Russell 2000, that's the small 2,000 companies rather than the big ass 500. Well, the top 2,000 rather than the top 500. I tend to think you see a little bit more reaction and meaning out of the Russell 2000. Is there anything else? The DXY, right? This, anything to look at? Oh gosh, what is it? TNX? Is that what it is? Yes. Treasury Yield. Oh man. Okay, here's the thing. This is the 10-year Treasury Yield. Now, if we like take this chart, okay, and try to clean this thing up a little bit, see if I can get rid of some of my moving averages here, just because it's just a pain in the ass. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's just leave the 50 so we have some kind of a reference. So here's the 10-year Treasury yield note. That's a strong push. Now, it has been said, this is something that actually Bob Kudla over at Trade Genius mentioned, and definitely a good group to be a part of. Check them out in the description. When this is doing well, Bitcoin tends to be doing well. When it's doing shitty, Bitcoin tends to be doing shitty. I think he put it that way. So hopefully I'm not, perverting the perverting his words. But let's look at Bitcoin, BTC USDT on Binance, and how that kind of flows together. So let's see. Let's just do a 50 moving average here. And if I'm screwing this up, I'll correct it later. But I do believe he was saying, come on now, where are you at? Not 4 hour. I want to. No, wait. Oh, it's a 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart's pushing. Where did my thing go? 21, 30. Where'd you go? Crap, I don't see it. Ugh. Anyway, screw it. I'll just do like this. Now let's do 21 MA. Let's just magically make this sorry. Let's just magically make this the 50. I'll make you green. See a match. Boom. All right. So how does that kind of level up? How does that level up? So here's the 4-hour chart. Let's actually look at it. Let's go up here and go to, this is daily. No one is not quite looking right. Let's go here and go daily. And see how that matches. See how does that match? Look in the 50 moving average. Let's look at the let's go a little crazy and let's go 3 days. So we actually see some data here. 3 days. Supposedly there's kind of a correlation between the like I said, the 10-year Treasury bond yield thing and Bitcoin's happiness. So let's just see. Just looking at the 50 moving average. Let's see when we see a across here, what happened with Bitcoin when it was doing well here. Bitcoin was doing shitty there. They both did well here. When it was dumping here, these aren't exactly lined up perfectly. Sorry, I know I'm probably just wasting everybody's time. We'll just take a look. I'm trying to get these things to match here. Wish there was a way in TradingView where you could say, I have a split, I have 2 charts, match them so they would kind of like anchor to each other as far as time frame. We'll look at this later. I'll get this kind of set up so we can see it a little more clearly. I don't want to kind of waste everybody's time right now. Come on, damn it. It's always trying to figure out which way it wants to go. Anyway, the same time frame, 3 day, 3 day, 3 to 3. Anyway, roughly the equivalent of each other, sort of, barely, kind of, sort of. How about that? No. Anyway, I'm not sure about that correlation, but we'll look at that again. Supposedly, 10-year bonds with good returns equals a happy Bitcoin also, but I'm not really seeing that per se. What I would be interested in seeing right here, though, would be how about rather than that, how about the DXY, dollar strength index? Throw that in there. And dollar strength index, do these guys have a perfect kind of inversion, sort of? No. Yeah, sometimes dollar strength index does. It's interesting, Anyway, sorry guys, I don't want to blow. I don't want to just stare at off in the space and look at nothing. But there we go. Let's look at some coins looked at before. Luna versus Tether. Very strong coin. I like what it's doing. It's kind of dumping with Bitcoin today. But if we do note here, it's the 45-minute chart, of course, it's probably going to find traction on this 314 moving average and continue up. It is in the middle of its RSI cave here. It can definitely do that. Indicators show a cool off, but definitely maybe, especially looking at the Stochastic Rsi, we are seeing it's back in the buy zone here. So maybe we'll see a continuation up. Luna, a very, very strong coin right now. I'm digging what I'm seeing. Let's see, could we even do a little bit of a fib sequence here? You kind of could actually. I would, and I will. I'm going to fire one up right here. Do a fib sequence right here. And where are we at? Boom. Looking at possibly a 236 bounce. That's legit. It's staying good, even with Bitcoin being kind of shitty. Luna versus USDT looking strong. LTC versus USDT had a little bit of life in it recently. It made a nice 200 moving average cross, but it has not kept it. It does show some signs of bottoming out here and turning around. So LTC versus USDT. I am kind of wondering if we'll see a Litecoin 2022, beginning of 2022 upwards move. Let's just kind of see what happens. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Does a 4-hour chart look for that? Litecoin, you got any life in you? Do you? Come on. It's still pretty flaccid. It's not a great move, but I'm going to start watching it. Let's look at one of my favorites here. Shiba Inu versus USDT. How is it looking this morning? It's dumping with Bitcoin. Indicators are pretty weak. It's not quite ready to turn around yet, but look where it's at, though. There you go. Right there, you can see it clear as day, looking like an RSI bounce on the 45-minute chart, and that would make sense. But it's still below the 200 moving average, so it's not too sparky. But if you're a scaler, if you want to hop in, maybe it's not the best place. Maybe it's not a bad dollar cost average kind of buy right there. It will probably start recovering from there, but I'm not sure if it's done dumping yet. Just be careful. Just call it a feeling. I'm not sure that even Bitcoin here on the 4-hour chart. One thing, just be very, very wary. I just don't. I'm not seeing any. Blah blah blah. Just be wary. Just be wary. Seriously, watch for. I think a lot of what's going to happen. What I'm really kind of watching is sincerely watch this daily MACD for real. If that crosses negative, all bets are kind of off, I would say, because Bitcoin's pretty flat right now. It's below the 200 moving average on the daily. If that crosses negative, you might get some sweet buys before this thing turns around. And as Masaki was saying, with retrograde, Mercury retrograde around the 14th should be the bottom for this month. It definitely could be. I'm not seeing any upwards, sparkiness in Bitcoin right now. How about ETH versus USDT? What I can say is ETH versus USDT. It's definitely a little bit more, as far as the volatility, it's a little bit more chilled than Bitcoin. It definitely took a dump this morning with Bitcoin, of course. Stochastic RSI shows it's back in the buy zone, which oscillated by Lazy Bear. You see a slight tangent beginning to form. This actually could be turning around before Bitcoin does. So, but it's still below the 200 moving average. And even if it gets above, until Bitcoin gets a little bit more spunk to it, it's probably the most it's going to do is range between the 314 and the 200 moving average, kind of go nowhere. So let's see what happens there. Yep, there you go. There's Ethereum versus USDT. If Ethereum could out correct, could pull out, could kind of, if Ethereum could pull out in time. Check it out. This is Ethereum versus BTC. So Ethereum versus BTC has had a glorious 200 moving average cross here, broke to the 200 and the 314 moving average on a 45-minute chart. It's up. It's kind of plateauing. It dumps from this morning, but still it's pushing hard once again towards the upside. It's in the middle of its RSI cave. Directional index is now just starting to turn green. Watch for that ADX tangent to turn positive. It's in the right spot. Squeeze indicators showing that it's beginning to chill out, beginning to get some positive movement. KRI is in the green now. Stochastic RSI here in the 45-minute chart. Boom. It went to the buy zone. Now it's back in that sweet upwards momentum territory. Stochastic RSI, which oscillated by Lazy Bear, has had a positive oscillator cross. So really, if Ethereum can it may pull up quicker than Bitcoin. It may even hold more resilience, not quite be as volatile. ETH versus BTC trade, it's kind of in the right spot for it. I'm just a little bit hesitant with the market being so volatile right now. Should be Inu. Like I say, already a dump with Bitcoin. It's about in the RSI cave. It'll probably pull up, but it's still a pretty weak chart. God, one of the big winners today is seriously Ethereum versus BTC. If Ethereum can pull out of this dump quicker than BTC, you might see some nice gains. Somebody mentioned VOR and ONG. Let's check them out. VOR, SDT. What are you? VOR. Oh. Or that it's not a crypto. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. Vor Biopharma on NASDAQ. What's it doing? 4-hour chart. Starting to pull up a little bit. Still below the 200 moving average and such like that on a 4-hour chart. But we're seeing some upwards momentum here. Just for fun, just look at this 45-minute chart. Damn it. Might be a setup. I mean, it's gosh, it's kind of flaccid. It's not a particularly exciting chart to me right now. ONG, USDT on Binance, ONG. Oh, this is beautiful. I like this one. ONG versus USDT, Ontology Gas. This is kind of sweet. I like this. Actually, this is nice. This is good. It makes me happy. Right now, you can see it's in this beautiful zone here, sort of. Definitely previous support and resistance in the chart. I like seeing that. That's a nice thing to see. Good bounce part. Look at the good bounce point. Look at all this glorious green we've got here in the market, in the directional index. It is cooling off right now. It's kind of dumped with Bitcoin this morning. But with this kind of powerful upwards momentum, we see this powerful cross a little while ago, back on the 1st of January. This is a 45-minute chart. This break above the 203.14 moving average, all in one candle, getting it a blue merit badge. That's always a very positive signal when you see that. Also, is this following a long downtrend? It was following a long enough downtrend. So I like this. It's cooling off right now. It's in the middle of the RSI cave. It's good. It's above the 203.14 moving average. I would say in situations like this, you can oftentimes look at the wicks. Wicks will oftentimes tell you which way something wants to go, and you can say which way it wants to go. It's making breaks above the top of that RSI cave. This thing is cooling off right now, but ONG versus USDT, watch for the tangent of the ADX to go positive. Watch for the first slightest bit of a perkiness here in the directional index, one deeper, one brighter green candle. Watch this, a candle here to go positive on the direction, on the squeeze indicator, KRI to pull up. Stochastic Rsi, that tangent is just about to go positive right there. Right now, considered by Lazy Bear grumpy, but it is fair. We're still in a kind of a sweet spot. So watch ONG versus USDT for, damn, that thing is doing good. I like it. Let's look at a 15-minute chart. Has it already turned around the 15-minute chart? Yeah, 15-minute chart looks pretty good too. 15-minute chart, it went down to a 200 moving average bounce. That is a very, very valid place to bounce. Also, that's right about the bottom of the RSI cave. Just gotta watch out though. We're in a volatile time right now. It's like even exciting coins like this, I'm just hesitant until we see what Bitcoin is going to do. Watch for that daily MACD cross. We need to get some room. We need to get some space here. We need to turn up and get some space, get a positively forming histogram here, or you just say F it and get it over with, to have a negative cross and boom, just buy those sweet ass dips, because that's what's coming if that happens. Eth versus BTC still strong. Oh man, I might get in on that. ONG versus USDT. I'm watching you. Definitely when this turns back up, might be a sweet play. And something else I saw actually, and I'm still finding out a little bit more about this coin. Okay, Sol. Yeah, Phantasma versus USDT. I believe this is also available in like Sushi Swap, so it's kind of one of those deals, New on KuCoin if you've got a KuCoin account. But look at this beast, right? 50 moving average, made a nice bounce off that. It's been going up. Daily MACD, look at that glorious daily MACD. this thing is making some serious moves. I mean, recently, let's look at my favorite little charting method here, all my little cool indicators here. If we look, I mean, this is just fantastic. And you can kind of see where it's playing by rules, sort of. So if you have a KuCoin account, or if you want to go over there to the Uniswap universe, it is available there too. So it's top of the RSI cave. It doesn't care what Bitcoin's doing today. It made a powerful move up. Went at the top of the RSI cave, broke above it, and now it's kind of chilling a little bit. But these indicators are strong, not a bit of slowing down here on the daily. That is wonderful. Let's look at this on a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, it rode the top of that RSI cave until it couldn't anymore. Tried to break up, tried too hard to break above, got rejected. Also, if you can see it, the red moving average right here, that is 8 moving average. You're never going to stay too far from that, above or below. You'll always snap back to it, and it did. All right, look at the indicators. It's definitely a little bit of a cool off here. I think it's going to cool off for sure, but watch this one. This is a strong 4-hour chart. Sol versus USDT, also known as Fantasia. I'm not sure what it does. I only heard about it like this morning, but it does a lot. So this is an interesting project. It could be one of those sweet ass buys you get into and just hold. Look at this glorious uptrend it's been in. If we actually were to do a parallel channel here, taking a little bit of credit to liberty with this channel. Okay, I know that I am, but look at that. There's a heartbeat to it. It's glorious. It wouldn't surprise me if it kind of comes to the bottom of this channel and then continues back up. Definitely, if you look at the stochastic RSI, look at that. Boom, a tangent getting ready to turn up. Also, stochastic RSI tangents are very, 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 very powerful on the 1 hour. 1 hour, boom, we're getting across over the signal, getting a positive tangent. This is looking really, really good. So definitely, we don't know how far it's going to cool off, but it would surprise me if it went lower than the channel we're seeing there. Going to go back to my little 45-minute chart. One to watch, Fantasia. Look it up too. Check it out. It's a project that does a lot. I mean, I know it's got some NFT action. It's got, you name it. It does a lot. It's kind of a full-featured coin, and it's not on many exchanges yet. It's just kind of a Uniswap universe thing, and it's on KuCoin. So if you got a KuCoin account, I can't say what to do, but I know what I'm doing. So anyway, with that said, Bitcoin, the takeaway from all this ramble today is set an alert in TradingView or whatever trading software you have, and watch for this MACD. If we can get this tangent to go the proper way, if we can get some upwards movement on Bitcoin, great, wonderful. If not, can this thing just frigging finally just cross negative and get the dump out of its system? If it does cross negative, absolutely, you're probably going to see a visit to the bottom of this RSI cave, at least here on the 4-hour chart. And with that said, 44,900, 44,850, 44,800 are my limit buys. And most likely, they'll hit if we cross negative on the daily MACD. But unfortunately, if that happens, there'll probably only be limits that get filled on the way down further. But anyway, take care, everybody. This was long. Sorry about that. Is trading volume working yet? Why is it? Damn you. It's so important to know that. We'll find it some other way. There's other ways to find it. Remember, for every single Bitcoin Satoshi you own, and SHIB, and Doge, a piece of shit globalist cries. Let's keep them crying in the 2021. And really, regardless of whether Bitcoin's bear or bull, there's a lot of money to be made in alts, and we'll start focusing on that more. We'll start watching some alts too, and I'll be trading more aggressively as this year gets started, because I want to make some money, and I'll share what I'm doing with you, and maybe we can all make some money together. As always, check out Blockchain Education, check out Trade Genius. Either of those in the description are amazing places to be. I endorse the crap out of both of them. Take care.